spirit. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them.
We want back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, no new friends, Football fans, they sleep again, We wake them up, the champs is in, We want back ends, wipe my sins, wipe it, They can't win, no new friends, Football fans, they sleep again, We wake them up, the champs is in, yeah, wake up.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They come in wondering what on earth is going on here as they sit in last place at 0-7.
And it's really difficult to report to work every day with that type of a losing streak looming over you. How do you break out of it? And you're looking at each other to try and figure it out.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
To throw on second down is Locke. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. On the defensive side here, the starters for the Texans, they've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
And when you see a ranking like number 4 in the league against the pass, that's a testament to both their defensive coordinator and the general manager that crafted this unit, and now they're out executing.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap for Love. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Good for a Colt first down. The former Lion Ebron there bringing it in from Andrew Luck.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A good pickup there at 22.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Here's Luck. Over the middle, complete. It's Doyle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
A rare misstep on that last play, because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. To throw is Luck. Caught left side by Hilton. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Luck able to find Hilton there for a Colt first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Here's Luck. The quick slant caught. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. In for the score. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading the charge will be their quarterback. Always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. And some room to work. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A good comeback there after the penalty. 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 6.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football.
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass, so whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watched the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate. The receivers catch it. The ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, ball never hits the ground there either.
Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it out.
Back to throw, Love. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Here's Mack. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And here comes the Texans now. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December.
Yeah, more football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're nowhere to go. Here, he lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Back 22! Back 22!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there. No gain, too.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, but I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested 1st half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast, but a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Colts getting ready to go. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on.
Pass interference, defense.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll power his way up near the 25. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10. They'll fake it. Now Luck. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at about the 14. Able to slither by. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Foxborough. It's the Patriots with the early lead over the Bills. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Watson now to throw. Being chased out left. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. The Texans on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now Locke throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Back to the air. Luck on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Love. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And now the Texans want to call another timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And all the way to the opposite 45. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now a first down throw. Watson is going to float this one deep right side. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Will Fuller was the intended target. And that'll bring up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Come back. Down. Green the line.
Throwing again is Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Colts pick it up. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Love. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth. A third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On third down, Miller. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That good for 19 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Back to throw, Watson, eluding the pressure right. And his throw is going to be incomplete. They were trying to get the connection with the former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. That'll bring up second down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. There he goes inside the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Quincy Wilson in on the stop. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On third down, Watson Fuller brings it in over the middle. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. From the red zone now, Watson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped.
False start, offense.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it.
Still
might have been
down.
a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up. And someone jumped.
And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Out of the gun, Luck throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Tyquan Lewis makes the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Flag 22! Flag 22! Two jet!
Faking the give. Now Watson. Going up top. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Green the line!
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Rolling to his right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Come back.
Watson on third down. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 57 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the fourth quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The Colts on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Here's Locke. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Over the middle, complete. It's Doyle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Continuing to steadily move the ball down the field. Not big play after big play, but these moderate gains getting him first downs.
And you know what they add up to, right? If you continue that pace and you continue to move it downfield, they add up into 6 points. That's exactly what you're looking for.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
On first down, Locke. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Throwing on third down. Luck. And he's got his man Hilton. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's the backup, Jacoby Brissett. That is going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he's going to find Doyle in the end zone for a Colts score. Jack Doyle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play. But also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. The 2nd down carry for Irvin. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Throwing is Love. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
They begin with a run by Miller, and nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Again, it's Miller. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll toss it to Miller. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that one will be accepted. On 1st down, it's Long. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Now the Colts moving quickly here in the hurry-up offense. Here's Luck now on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down. And they'll get up and spike it right at 40 seconds to go. On 2nd down, here's Locke. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Clock now under 30 ticks and running. Here's Locke. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another 1st down. And now down to 14 as he spikes it to stop the clock. And the connection not there. Incomplete. Just 14 seconds down to the final couple of plays here. Throwing again is Locke. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Back to throw, Love. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. One last throw here for Love. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.